because I guarantee you, it's amazing to me when I talk to agents, how many agents don't have, and they have buyers, but they don't create a buyer's waiting list. I'm like, that's just crazy. I don't understand how that works. So what I do is I'll go in and I'll talk to them about, like Todd was saying, hey, here's how it works. I walk in and I know who my competition is, and most of you have the same competition. It's the agents who want to show their marketing pieces that are like this, right? Here's the luxury home magazine, here's the homes and land, here's all this other stuff, and they're going to lay it on the table. So I walk in and I do the same thing, right? I put the homes and land, all this stuff on the table, and they're getting all excited, and I say, so I'm going to start showing them marketing, and I just take it and throw it off the table. I go, you'll never see your home in any one of these publications. I will absolutely never waste money on any of these publications. They're looking at me like, this guy's got 3 eyes. So I said, why is that? Why do I do that? Because 93% of all buyers start online. Why am I going to put your home in a home magazine when I know that all it's going to do is placate you, right? All it's going to do is make you feel good about spending money to hopefully get exposure. And I asked them that. I said, what's the reason I'm going to spend all this money to put your home in a luxury home magazine, Homes and Land? And they always answer, they say, well, exposure. Right. Okay, so exposure for what though? Like, what's the exposure going to give you? Buyers. Right. I'm like, I don't need to do that. I already have buyers. In fact, I've got 5,000 in my database. In fact, I went ahead and scrubbed your house, and I've got 245 that actually match your home's criteria right here. So I don't need to spend money on this kind of stuff. I just walk through and say, I just scrubbed it. Now, I'm not saying when I'm going to buy it, but I'm saying that my 245 buyers are matching your home almost to a T, and then they're in multiple stages of their buying process, right? So they're either brand new to my site, I picked them up as a prospect, all the way through that they could be an escrow on another property. So all I'm saying is that I have the ability and I have the knowledge of how to generate leads, buyer prospects is what I don't say leads, buyer prospects to find your house. I mean, ultimately that's what I do, right? So if I bring you a buyer, cash price or cash offer, full price, close in 10 days, would you care how I got that buyer? Would you care where I got the money, or where I spent the money, or how I marketed your house, or where it was, that was on Zillow, where the assessment's wrong? Would you care? I mean, that's the whole idea, right? So that's kind of why I leverage that a little bit. And then I show them why it's a logical choice in negotiating marketing. So one of the things I do, one of the things I do is say, look, there's 2 things I'm going to do for you, and 2 things I'm going to do very, very well. I'm not your traditional agent, and one of the things that differentiates me between other agents and myself is those are real estate agents. I'm a marketer to solutions that help people buy and sell real estate. And the difference is I know how, number one, to generate buyer leads, buyer prospects for your property. If I can generate more buyer prospects, I can probably create more demand, right? So that ties into the 100% asking price guarantee. If I can get more demand, I can probably get more money for your house. You're going to hire me for 2 things and 2 things only. I'm going to market and negotiate. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to show the house. I have my other person who does that. Those are the 2 things why you're spending the money. Here's what happens when a typical agent gets an offer. A typical listing agent gets an offer. We got an offer. Mr. Seller, here you go. What do you want to do? Let's count. No, that's why you're paying me. I will never give you an offer. It's mine. It's literally, I have to do negotiating. I have to negotiate before I get the offer. Ultimately, it's your decision. It's going to be your decision to decide whether you want to come back at or if that's the offer you want. But ultimately, you're paying me to negotiate. So what I realized quickly is sellers want a strategy, right? They have to know that you have a strategy. They don't care what it is, I don't think necessarily, but it's got to make sense, and they have to know that you have it. Because otherwise, if you don't, all you're going to be is a commodity. Like Todd said, you're just going to commoditize your business. So one of the things I do when I walk in there is say, here's what's going to happen. When we get an offer, first off, you're going to give me your absolute bottom line number. I don't care what that number is. It's just a number that if I get a penny less than that, you're going to walk away and have no fear, right? You're not going to be upset. So you're going to put that in writing, and you're going to send that to me, and I'm going to hold on to that. I'm not going to share that with anybody. Then what's going to happen is my friend Jim is going to come over and submit an offer. Say we list a house at 800, he's going to submit an offer at 750. 775 is your bottom line number. I'm going to say, Jim, I'm not going to present this offer. Jim's going to get all bent out of shape and say, no, you have to, it's illegal not to present a offer. I'm going to say, actually, no, it is legal because I have a conversation not to present this offer. But go ahead and go back and try again. So then he tries again, he comes up with another $10,000, and I said, thanks, Jim, it's really awesome, but I can't, it's still below my client's bottom line number. Now, again, all this time, I'm not going to lose the deal, right? If I feel it's going to fall apart, I'm certainly going to leave the seller down. But what happens is So it comes in higher, and then I go back and say, look, Jim, you did this 3 times, thank you so much. It's close to my bottom line number for my client. Let me go present it. So then I go present it to the seller, and I say, look, here's the offer. I think we got 1 more, maybe 2 more chances here to maybe counter. But I've already negotiated 2 or 3 times. So I've taken you out of that element. So in the car business, when you walk into a dealership, what's the funnest thing about going to the car dealership? Going to the finance office, right? Negotiating? That's great. That's what I love. So everybody hates that. And you, as an agent, want to take that pain away from them, right? So it's so important for you to say, that uncomfortable, really not fun part of this selling process, I'm going to take away from it. That's why you're paying me. So I kind of leverage a little bit more. I know Jim uses the marine, but I use the car business, and I say, look, when I was in the car business, I had everybody walk in that dealership, and they had chips on their shoulder. I got really good at negotiating, because these people came loaded for bear, right? They had every nook and cranny number, and they knew everything, and I just had to hammer it out. So I became really good at negotiating, and I tell them, I said, look, the reason you do want to hire me, because if I represent the buyer in your listing, I will soak you for every penny you have. I will make sure my buyer steals that house so bad you will cry. And then they look at me and I go, but on the other side, let me represent you as a seller. I will do the exact same thing. I will find out the weakness of the buyer. I'll find out the weakness of the agent. I will exploit every weakness I possibly can. It's not pretty, but I like doing that. And that's why you're paying me money to list your house. Yes, that's why it's 7%. Yes, I have a strategy. I have buyers, I have a strategy, I have marketing. I mean, literally, you kind of slap them inside the head with a logic stick, and you're like, why would you talk to anybody else? So using that is really good. You come up with whatever your strategy is, but have that in your repertoire, and tell them, let them know why you're paying. And all the time I'm saying this, they're like, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly why I'm paying you. Because that's what happens typically. The agents just kind of go like this and go, okay, tell them what to do. No, I'm a clerk. I'm a negotiator. That's what I do. So anyway, that's my strategy. All right, so that's how I eliminate my competition. Okay, so reverse the risk with your USB. You knew I had some glitter in this presentation. So as Todd said this morning, I was like, I'm still my glitter on my presentation. So telling your story as to why a seller must use you must consist of those 6 things. I know he covered it today. I'm sure you guys all know what they are, right? We have all the buyers, buyer waiting list. We sell homes for more money than the average agent. We sell homes faster than the average agent. And of course, your home is more likely to sell because, as they don't know, they think every home sells. I mean, I think they think in their head that eventually will sell. Not all homes sell. And it's shocking when you see how many agents take a listing and actually sell their listings and what percentage. It's shockingly low, which I was very surprised. And then, of course, third-party social proof of these claims. And then reverse the risk by offering that guarantee. You have to have that guarantee in there. All right. So my last part of that T, convert, is track. If you're not tracking your responses, if you're not tracking your systems and your follow-up, we were just talking about this at lunch today about a contact management system and how it's only important to use it if you can track the response. So if somebody calls you and they called you because of an email, how do you know that? Hey, I got your email, I want to call you. Okay, that's great. But are you asking them those? Are they clicking on links? Are you gauging their timing, whether they are really looking for their home evaluation or they really do want to sell? And that's how I can track really well. I know I can track it really well when they click on that link and it says, find out what your asking price would be. But I can also track it through the system by how they interact with the program and in my emails and videos. That's why this is so important. And it's mostly for your tracking, so you can decide if it's money well spent or not. So that being said,